In a small town surrounded by green hills, there was a woman named Zoe. She was a lively person, always smiling and ready to help others. Zoe had a dream to travel the world and explore new cultures. But for now, she worked in a local bookstore, spending her days surrounded by stories and books. One day, while walking to work, Zoe decided to take a shortcut down a quiet street. The sun was shining, and the flowers were in full bloom. However, the tranquility was interrupted by a deafening sound. A runaway car was heading straight for her. In an instant, everything went dark. When Zoe woke up, she was in a hospital. She felt pain, but what troubled her the most was the strange sensation of not knowing who she was. Looking in the mirror, the woman she saw had no face, no story. She had lost her memory. The doctor explained that this was normal after an accident, but days turned into weeks, and the feeling of emptiness persisted. Noah, a man who had always been by Zoe's side, was devastated. He was her best friend but also loved her deeply. They shared laughter, secrets, and dreams. Now, he saw her as a stranger. Noah decided he needed to win Zoe back. He wanted to rekindle the spark that had once existed between them, but a secret tormented him. Every day, Noah visited Zoe in the hospital. He brought her flowers and read her excerpts from books they used to share. "Do you remember this story?" he would ask, but Zoe only smiled, not understanding. She was intrigued by this man who seemed to know every detail of her life, yet was a complete stranger. Noah began to tell stories of their adventures together. He spoke of their travels, funny moments, and times of sadness. He tried to make Zoe laugh, but the pain in his heart was intense. He knew there was something he needed to tell her, but the fear of losing Zoe again left him paralyzed. As the weeks passed, Zoe started to feel a connection with Noah. There was something in his eyes that drew her in. She wondered who he was to her, and slowly began to open up. "You are important to me, aren't you?" she asked one day. Noah, emotional, nodded. "Yes, Zoe. I will always be here for you." One morning, Zoe decided she wanted to know more about what had happened before the accident. She began to ask questions, and Noah hesitated. The weight of his guilt became unbearable, but he knew he couldn't hide the truth forever. With a heavy heart, he decided to be honest. "Zoe, I was driving when the accident happened," he said, his voice trembling. "I got distracted for a moment and didn't see you in the street. I'm so sorry." The silence that followed was deafening. Zoe looked at Noah, processing the information. The pain was deep, but looking at Noah, she saw a remorseful man who truly loved her. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Zoe asked, her voice filled with confusion. "Why didn't you let me know?" Noah felt tears streaming down his face. "I was afraid of losing you. I didn't want you to see me as the villain in your story." Zoe fell silent, grappling with her emotions. The truth hurt her, but there was something deeper in Noah, something she couldn't ignore. "I want to understand," "I want to know more about us," she said, determined. Noah smiled, relieved. "Then let's do this together." From that day on, Zoe and Noah began to rediscover their love. They met daily, and Noah always brought a notebook. They started writing letters to each other, sharing feelings, fears, and dreams. With each letter, Zoe rediscovered not only Noah but also herself. Sometimes the letters were sad, reflecting the pain of the past. Other times, they were filled with hope and plans for the future. Noah wrote about his feelings of guilt, while Zoe spoke of her recovery and her desire to travel the world. Through their words, they found a way to connect, even when the past felt heavy. As days turned into weeks, Zoe began to recover parts of her memory. She remembered small details, shared laughter, romantic dinners, and all the promises they made to each other. But most importantly, she had rebuilt her love for Noah. One afternoon, as the sun was setting, Zoe and Noah were sitting on a park bench. The leaves on the trees danced in the wind, and the scent of flowers filled the air. Zoe looked into Noah's eyes and said, "I can't change what happened, but I want to move forward. I want to build a future with you." Noah smiled, relieved. "I want that too, Zoe. What happened was painful, but I believe our love is stronger." They embraced, and in that moment, all doubts and fears disappeared. Zoe decided that instead of being consumed by the pain of the past, she would choose to live fully. She wanted to travel, explore the world, and create new memories with Noah by her side. Noah, in turn, promised to support her every step of the way. And so, their love blossomed again, stronger and deeper than before. Together, they faced life's challenges, always remembering that true love can overcome any obstacle. As time went on, Zoe and Noah became inseparable. They traveled to places Zoe had always dreamed of visiting, and each new experience only strengthened their bond. The letters they wrote became cherished memories, and together, they began to write the most beautiful love story. In the end, Zoe realized that even after the pain and difficulties, she had found not only true love but also a new version of herself. And so, they continued to write their story, page by page, always together. If you enjoyed the story, please like and subscribe.